Happy Sunday! Today's video will show you step by step how to create a floating snowflake ornament with this little interactive moving snowflake inside. This is one video of a two-part series showing first how to create the snowflake ornament and then how to make a coordinating snowflake box for the ornament. And here's a quick glimpse at a list of the materials used for this project. Alright, first I want to show you these ornaments. These are basic, do-it-yourself, clear ornaments, both in glass, which is thinner, and this plastic one that's a little bit thicker. The glass is about 1.5 inches wide. I believe the plastic is about 1 3/4 inch wide. So I'm just using a window sheet, a 3 inch by 3 inch square. And what I really recommend before we go any further in your project is rolling it up, just seeing how it feels getting rolled up. Some transparency materials or window sheets roll easier than others. And now I also want to show you the inside, the opening of the glass ornament compared to the plastic. And the brand that I'm using is, I believe, ArtMinds from Michael's stores. That's here in the United States. The glass varies on how thick or thin, how wide or small the opening is, but the plastic ornament is consistently the same width, thick. And so here I am again, just practicing rolling that transparency sheet just to make sure that it'll fit through. The Stampin' Up! Window sheets work very well with the wider opening. All right, now we're going to take our 3-inch circle die from the basic layering circles. This is the second largest, I believe. And I'm putting it onto I'm using some painter's tape, removable tape, and putting it on my 3-inch square of window sheet material. Okay. I'm putting one piece of tape towards one corner of the square because I'm going to do a partial die cut. The only reason I do this is because I don't want my final image, whatever design I'm going to put into my ornament, to rotate around. So I'd like to create this little notch. And so again, partial die cutting is going to allow me to create this little kind of rectangle at the top of my circle. There's many tutorials out there on partial die cutting, but basically I'm not going to sandwich the entire metal die underneath my cutting plates. All right, so now I'm going to carefully remove this, making sure to not tear my window sheet because sometimes the painter's tape is a little sticky or tacky. And you can see here, it just did not cut the complete circle. Okay. I'm going to use my snips now to just create a cut heading directly towards the circle in 2 places. And then I'm going to finish cutting the circle around. So you see my yellow template in the top left-hand corner. This is what I'm trying to create here. So I cut a perpendicular line heading towards the circle. And now I'm just finishing cutting along the circle's curve up to that little notch. So I'm going to put it to the side here so you can see now. There you go. And it's a really long piece at the top, so we just cut a little bit off. But by creating this little shape at the top of my circle is going to help the image, your final ornament, not rotate. This is a totally optional step. I should have started by saying that. All right, now I'm going to put some of our adhesive sheets onto the back of my cardstock. Now the reason that I'm using adhesive sheets and not any other adhesive is because when I roll up the transparency or the window sheet to put into the ornament, I want to make sure that my die cuts have a great great seal against that window sheet. So I stick my adhesive sheet to the back of my cardstock, and I use a very old pair of kid scissors to cut off the adhesive. I do not like to use my snips for that. And now I'm going to die cut my snowflakes. So you'll see I cut 2 of the largest snowflakes out of the Balmy blue Glimmer paper. I have 2 of the smallest white snowflakes, 1 silver, and 1 in Night of Navy. And so I'm just laying out where I want these snowflakes to be. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to the front side. And again, I'm using this older pair of kid scissors to cut away the excess that goes beyond my circle template. And this is again so that it can fit nicely into the round ornament. Now the back side, the white and the Night of Navy snowflakes look great. I didn't bother putting a second snowflake there, but because the back of the Balmy blue Glimmer paper is white, I thought to double that up. I'm taking care to make sure that it lays over the front snowflake perfectly to avoid any white outline. This next piece that I'm going to assemble is the little interactive piece. I showed you the little snowflake that moves around. All I did was cut a 1 1/4 inch circle out of the window sheet material, and I'm adhering a silver foil snowflake on one side and a whisper white snowflake on the other. Next, I'm going to show you how to roll up and put this decorated window sheet into your ornament. Now again, if you're using a plastic ornament, you're going to have a nice wide opening. For the glass, it is a little bit thinner and definitely varies with every single bulb. So make sure now that my front side, which has 3 snowflakes, that's the more delicate side, I'm rolling that on the inside. And I'm taking care to not squeeze the transparency flat while I'm trying to roll it. I'm trying to keep it nice and tight so that it can fit through the opening of the ornament. But you want to make sure to not squeeze it flat so you're not adding any creases to your window sheet. And once you have it into a roll, it just fits nicely in there. And you can see that the transparency wants to completely open up, and it doesn't open up all the way. So I used just a bamboo skewer. This is I think if you have a really strong toothpick, something very thin and sturdy, bamboo skewers have worked well for me over the years. And all I'm doing is helping the transparency to flatten back out again. I do want to caution during this whole step, avoid keeping your transparency rolled for a long period of time, and then it's easier to pop back into shape. For this little one, you hardly have to do any manipulating. For that 1 1/4 inch, I just bent it just a little bit, again using the bamboo skewer to flatten it against the edge of the ornament. And now I'm just taking a look again to see if I need to do any last manipulation. I can see it's still a little bit curled, so I'm fitting the bamboo skewer behind the transparency or behind the window sheet. And I'm just pushing it towards the front, and that just helps flatten it. And again, I'm also looking for the die cut if it came loose from the window sheet at all. Thank you guys for joining me today to see how I put together this floating snowflake ornament. And I just want to remind you that I will have a video as well for the coordinating ornament box. If you have any questions about this process, please feel free to contact me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.